太极推手3，动步单推与双推手。基本太极镜练习2。捧镜。Taijiquan is also called 13 postures, but 13 postures inside includes the 8 Jing patterns and also 5 stepping movements. Among those 13, number 1 is called Pong. When they translate into English, they call Wardoff. Pong Jing is number 1 because that's the most important Jing pattern in the Taijiquan. You can discover Pong Jing almost everywhere in the Taijiquan. But Pong Jing, one of the oral secret on Pong Jing, they call drawing the chest, arc your back. Eventually, you look at Pong. Pong was created by the hands and the 2 moons. 2 moons, that means like the arms make like 2 moons. But eventually, this one drawing the chest, arc your back. Eventually, this kind of motion is called Pong. This one is very important to protect your center. When you go like that, it's easy for your opponent to find your center. Once you go like that, it becomes harder. So the Pong Jing can use for defense, can use for offense. For example, if someone lock your elbow, they're going to squeeze you in. Just Pong, you can easily get out. Now here, it can easily, somebody try to hold you, it can easily expand it so he cannot hold you tight. So Pong Jing is very important for everyone to practice. You want to learn Taiji pushing hand right, Pong Jing is the first thing you have to do. So the first thing is you have to stabilize yourself. So this the angle, this the angle, and this the angle, and this can turn the body, this the angle. So you look at the situation. Okay, let me use a jab as a partner. If he lock my elbow, you can see he tries to squeeze me, this is a Pong. So you can see the way I'm doing that, I'm not pushing forward. If I'm pushing forward, I'm using my power against the power. Let me use a force against force. In Taijiquan, it's called double weighting. That's me, I put the weight, he put the weight on me. In this case, I become tense and can bounce out. So this is called stagnant. Energy gets stagnant, easy to be bounced off, balance. So because reason the Pong Jing, when you do it, you can see my body, actually my body move back, allowed me to have this chance to open it. Instead, I push forward. If you can catch the trick, it's so easy for you to defend against people try to squeeze your arms. So this one right away, you can see this. So he tries to push me this right away. Like that, it will be hard for him to push against you. Especially when he squeezes you, you turn the body, he changes the angle, now he loses balance of his both arms. Then it's easy for you to defend against that. The second Pong Jing, for example, he hold me very tight. Yeah, when the hold tight like that, it's very, he can slow you down very easily. Well, watch it. If I do the Pong Jing, it becomes very hard for him. See, like that, it's become very hard for him to get me down, especially because I occupy the center of the whole system, the 2 persons. In this case, he cannot slow down easily. So Pong Jing is everywhere. Not only that, Pong Jing, he built up the body structure for the Jing striking. All right, next time I'm going to show you a few Pong Jing patterns, and in this case, you can train by yourself. But remember, I only show you a few examples. It's not all the Pong Jing possible. Thank you. Okay. When you look at Rami is doing this, it's very good body movement. Remember Taiji class, they say, the movements initiate from the leg, directed by the waist, and manifest in the fingers. So Rami did pretty good. It's a good root. The power generated from there, and now he directs from here. Okay, so at the same time, remember when you do the Jing, it's very easy for shoulder to move up. He doesn't have that habit. So, but one thing he should correct, probably you should already know. This training is for himself. There's no sense of enemy. So when you do it, you can see, even he do all this Jing, his mind is here, and do all the power because sense the enemy. The sense the enemy you have to have, because sense the enemy give you the purpose, give the meaning of every Jing. Okay, it's not just within yourself. You have to expand the power to the opponent. Okay, otherwise, did very good. Thank you. Okay, now you see, Jeff, he did a few. The first important thing from the camera probably can see much easier. His body is up and down, up and down. So remember, when you do the Jing, you cannot get up and down because once you get up, you pull your root. It's from this position, it's only down. There's no up and down. So that part you gotta watch it. The second, this part from this part down to the leg is a little bit more stiffer. That means these three joints have to be relaxed, has to be so soft. So this kind of practice, you should practice at home as much as you can. These three joints have to be so relaxed. The power can get out anytime you want. Because so far you can see from here up, he did very good. But from here down, he missed connections because now his power joined from here. Like earlier, I tried to go back check with Rami. His power starts from here, but now Jeff power from here. So that part is big difference. The reason for that, because it's also, he moved up and down. That's a difference. Otherwise, it's not bad. He has a better sense of enemy. Okay, thank you. All right, so when you look at Brian, actually Brian just practiced with me for a shorter year than the other two. So you can see the first thing, big problem, his butt is out. So you can see that already. The second one, the chest is now arced in. So when you do the Jing, it's not this way. Actually, it's go this way. And the third one, every time you emit the power, you find out his body raise up. For example, his rear body raise up. Body supposed to be going down. Then that's why you get a good power. Okay, but of course it takes a long time and get the right directions. And someone is good about Jing, he can see the difference, he can tell you what's wrong. Then that's why you can continue to improve it. Because in China, there's a proverb. It's that Jing has to learn directly from a teacher. It's not easy. You can figure it out by yourself. Because a lot of mistakes, simply you made it, but you don't know why, you don't know how. Okay, thank you. That's a Peng Jing. Thank you.
几境
The next time we're going to introduce is a Ji Jing. Ji is a Chinese translation, can be squeeze or can be press. That depends how you apply it. So Ji Jing also is very difficult for a lot of people to apply this one because it's also commonly used in the Tai Chi pushing hands. So a lot of people ask me, how come Yang style doesn't have too much of a Jing like a Chen style? I say that's because Yang style, they emphasize more internal for beginners. After they emphasize beginner for a long time for the body structure, use your mind to lead the Qi. After that, they can manifest the Qi into the physical form. That's called Jing. But somehow, in the last 50, 60 years, you don't see too many people, they reach high levels of Tai Chi. When they don't reach high level, most of the time they stay in the soft and relaxed, slow movements for health purpose only. But for those martial artists If he's interested in the Taijiquan for the martial art purpose, then he should focus on the Jing training. And then that means he can manifest the power with good speed, because it doesn't matter how you're in a combat situation, you need the speed. Without the speed, you cannot really defend yourself. So next one you're going to see the Ji Jing. Ji Jing, the one is this way, Ji. So this one used a lot. For example, if someone tries to push you, you can squeeze the elbow. Later I try to demonstrate to you for that. So this is Ji Jing. This, of course, this for someone attack you, you are attacking the defense at the same time. But also Ji Jing, it comes to this one they call press. The press, the same thing. I can press someone against a corner or press him off balance. But at the same time, this also press. Okay, so the power can be this. This one, remember, this, the body this way, and this in this way. This is considered a ball. This one is another ball. The body have two balls, this ball and the chest ball. These two balls generate two strongest power. The body has 6 balls, 2 legs and 2 arms is considered 4 balls. And then now this spine is 1 ball, chest is another ball. But which 2 balls is the strongest? Actually, chest and the spine. So that's a Ji Jing is special training for this one. But this ball can be bent this way and generate power this way. Can be generated here and bend the power this way. Okay, so because either way it can generate power. So Ji Jing is exactly go this way. So one way is this one. This is the easiest. Boom, you go this way. The power go in the body, get body down this way. So this one, of course, he can generate this kind of power and this kind of power anytime you want. But the second one is this down. This down also, you neutralize at the same time. You mix with an at the same time with the Ji. So this one will help you to neutralize someone. They try to use 2 hands to push you. Okay, so this is the one pattern generally practice. Another pattern practice is this pattern. This, you see the chest in, now a chest is out now. So in, a chest, the chest is out. So watch the power generated from the leg, direct by waist, and then go to all the way to the hands. So you can see this one. And not only that, another one is this one. This one later I can demonstrate to you. You can see what this for. It's very easy. Use this one to seal the breath by striking the solar plexus area. So this one, you can see the power. You go here, go this one. This is also Ji Jing. Okay, let me use a Rami as an example. If he try to push me, so this hand you can see, he push, I squeeze in. This is Ji, is considered Ji. So this kind of Ji is very important to see. Not only that, for example, if I put the hands here, this is also Ji. This will become Qinla, is a Ji. Ji also can be this way. That's why the earlier you see this one, Ji, I press, the same time I can take him down very easily, Ji. When you have a chance to lock your opponents, then the hands you can squeeze on the back at the same time you attack them from for the solar plexus area. Solar plexus area, when you strike upwards, it can cause heart attack. You strike it directly, it can feel nauseous, and then strike downwards, you can seal the breath. So this cavity has been well known. This solar plexus area is being considered is the center of the fighting. So that's why a lot of times you see Southern style or any kind of a style, they're fighting the short range, the hands always protect this area. Okay, so that's the third pattern. So now we're going to ask Rami to demonstrate. So this pattern, and see you can get it good. This pattern can be go forward and backwards. Then the second kind of a press, and then third kind of a press is to go the squeeze. So we'll try. Okay, try to watch the body movements, okay? Rami try to face sideways and try to go this one. Watch his body movements. and the butt don't stick out. He did very good for this one. Okay, so you can see the body movements. When you strike, actually the body down to build up the root. Yeah, the only, this time is better than last one because, but since the enemy still not there too much. When you do the Jing, where's your mind? Should be over there. Let's say in your opponent's body. So that means when you go here, the body mind is there. Okay, all right. All right, so you look at jab now, especially earlier you see the sideways, you can see the one thing is this quad, when you get the power, this one doesn't turn completely, it turns about halfway. Because when you go halfway, the power doesn't have a good support at the end. So this part, you got to continue improve that. The second one, remember, you watch it sideways, see his body up again. So the same thing, his body up and down, and butt up and down. So that one will take time. The third one, this three joint has to be more loose. Because this three joint is more loose, it builds a better connection to the ground. It's a better rooted. You know, people always ask me what's the most important part of the Taijiquan. Then people know it's a rooting. But in order to get a root, this three section has to be soft and relaxed and controlled completely by you. If these three joints become stiff, no, your root can be easily pulled. Okay? But other than that, upper body, they're good. You have a good sense of the enemy. That's a good part. Thank you. All right, you can see Brian, he's very nervous. First thing, the shoulder. If you go back, watch again, it's the shoulder a couple times up. On the chest, this part, you have to emphasize more. Yeah, but this one is better than last one, the Pong Jing. Yeah, it did much, much better already. Yeah, the one thing is this part still not alive. The first step about learning Jing is actually the leg. The leg go this, until you build this connection. From here to the bottom, you build this connection. But if you go like that only, that means you didn't manifest the power completely to the end. So that part is a routine training for the Jing. Okay. Then you can hear the sound they make. The make sound, the Taiji have two sounds commonly used. One is ha sounds. Ha sound is positive sound. You read my book inside, we discuss so much. And also in Taiji Classic, they mention about hen ha tu jing. That means hen ha two sounds is the secret of the Jing. So that means hen ha two sound is the secret of the Jing. Ha sound is the way we love, we manifest the power. Then hen sound, you manifest the power, but at the same time you hold some back. Like this one, an. This one, both hands turn outside is yang. That means it's ha sounds because you put all the pressure, put all the power out. But when you go like this one, you can see this palm face in is in. This palm face out is yang. So that means among yang there's in, among in there's a yang. So because the reason the sound is hun sounds, at the same time you manifest the power. But remember, hun sound when you inhale like this way, this is the same way we cry. The heart is the same way we laugh. When you get, that's completely eating, completely in sound. When you go, that's me inside have yang. So that's the same thing as the Jing. You are neutralized at the same time, eventually you are attacking. So you can see there's an in, but there's a yang. That means power never manifested completely. Typical sound and the Jing is a three. An is hard sounds. So like this one, an. You go here, you chest in, this ha. This one is hard sound, ha. And then we go to sound for the attacking, it becomes this one. But we go to completely in sound, is actually this one, roll back. Roll back, they say, get in. So this one give you, right away, you strike.
扭转镜
The third thing we're going to introduce in this tape is also important, called 扭镜. 扭 does mean twisting. In the Taiji push hand situation, it's very important. Whenever you touch your opponent, it's not you push him off balance, you also twist his body and make him lose a balance. So because this reason, this 扭镜 is very important. When you practice 扭镜, the first thing, actually, you use a whole stance. So this one is very simple, like your hands holding the big bus or a big truck, the wheel, steering wheel. So from here, you just use the whole body. Instead of use the hands. Use your hands, not never gonna work. So use the body, and then body turn and sunk at the same time. Then this side, at the same time. Remember, I use the sound of hung sound. Because the hung sound, this hand is neutralized, and at the same time I'm pulling. This time I'm pushing, at the same time I can neutralize as well. So you can see the hung sound is commonly used because I'm not really manifest the power completely out. So I can maintain my body's center. So this one, this one. Also, you can see from the top, I can going down. From top, going down. Not only that, this is the one can go up at the same time. But remember, when you go up, the heel cannot come up. If your heel come up, you're uprooting. You want to get your opponent up, but at the same time, like you throw people away, but at the same time, you don't want to get your heel up. For example, like this one, then this one. So in this case, you can see the power. I go this and go this and try to lift him up. So 扭镜, this one, after you train for the 2 feet parallel, like a whole stance, they start go to bow and arrow stance. Because it doesn't matter how, when you push him with someone, you're always a leg forward. So this one, you should be able to turn this way. You should be able to turn this way. So when you turn this direction, it's harder because this is a qua. In China, this is called 内胯, internal qua. This is called external qua. So qua, eventually, to the Western terminology, this is an external hip, that's an internal hip. So actually, the hip joints, remember, in order to get the waist to be loose, the hip joints has to be loose. If these hip joints is tightened, then that means the waist will be stiff. So when you do this 扭镜, second step, that's why you start get the body this way, then boom, this, see the body sunk at the same time, this hand, you push and pull, then this, until you get used to it. So it becomes very important power, okay? So you look, whenever my hand stick with the opponent, you can see that's exactly what I'm pushing. See, there's a whole body twisting, or a whole body twisting this way. So you can see that's the whole idea of the twisting jing or 扭镜. Okay, now we can see Jeff do it. Much better now. You can see his body doesn't go up as much, only slightly. But one thing when you rotate, his hand go to that angle. It's supposed to be this angle. Okay. Remember, if you got to your opponent, if my hand go to that angle, it's not bad, but you need more power for this side than this side. Because you see, if you twist someone go this way, it's easier to turn it. If you go this way, he can resist you much easier. So because the reason is rotate instead of just go to that angle, should be this angle. If you go to this angle, then it becomes striking, but instead of twisting. So this side, he did good, but this side should be go more like this one until the hand line up with this stack, because enemy is supposed to throw this way instead of that way. The first one, we go here, the groin exposed. If it is a camera, face this side, then you cannot go this way, because that means groin exposed. Yeah, but this is a major camera, it's supposed to face this way. Okay, so listen. The second thing, when you do the power, he's stuck here. If you go back, watch again what he did. You can see his power is here. It didn't go all the way to the hands. You go to the way all the way to the hands, the power is over there. Instead of it stopped there because it didn't get all the way. Yeah, the power is here. It's not bad, but didn't get all the way to the end. Yeah, that means sense the enemy. Still need to emphasize. Yeah, more important, yes, you need the power. That's good. You need the body structure. You have that. What the next step you need? Sense of the enemy. So what you do? How you practice sense of the enemy? The best thing for practice this one, need a back. A stand back or kicking back. What you do, practice at the back, like this around me is a back. You just pray with that, for all this kind of twisting until your mind head into the back. So from here, the body, you twist it, then you twist it, then you twist it. At the same time, you can use this one, called buckling. This buckling, one is top on the bottom, so you try to make him fall. So at the same time, you go this way or go this way. So treat this like really enemies. So use this kind of exercise, they call body twisting. So that's why how you train that. If you can practice the back with 70, 80 pounds, like they can throw him very easily, now you're good for that. Then nobody can easily resist you. You just twist your power. Okay, thank you. It's much better than the last two, but still this pongjing is missing. Remember, this is twisting, still need pongjing. You can see the back like that, that means this part. Remember, the pongjing is everywhere. Inside, drawing the chest, arc your back. This part has to be this way. So when you move, the body has to be this instead of this. That part is missing. The second, when you go to this direction, the body, he didn't twist far enough. He got halfway, he didn't get all the way. That means in the push hand situation, you try to throw somebody on this side, he cannot because the enemies didn't get all the way. So for example, when I twist him, he got all the way like that only. But eventually it's supposed to be all the way this way. They get all the way, especially this leg. So the power has to be this way. He got halfway.
基本走步练习。走步。
Taiji pushing hands is designed for the final stage of the Taiji martial art training. Actually, it's a sparring. So when you fight with your opponent never stand there still. What happens, he's going to move. So the hardest part of a routine is why you are moving and you still have a good root. That is the hardest part. Not only that, only you have a good root, then you can get a manifest the power. So because the reason a lot of people ignore is in the moving pushing hand, your first step you have to learn is how do you step right. So when you step, you cannot move your leg too high. You have to really get crossed at the same time like you're pushing a car uphill. So you cannot allow this car push you backwards. So because the reason you stick with someone, at the same time you don't use all the force. So when you do this kind of training, it's very important. In the Baguazhang, they use a lot of this training. They call Tang Ni Bu. That means the leg walking in the mud, muddy part in the mud. So that means actually the leg stick together with the ground. So the same thing when you do the Tai Chi pushing hand. Do you have the root? If you don't have a root, you cannot neutralize the power, you cannot emit your power. Remember Taiji Jin, they said, the movements initiate from the leg. It doesn't matter you neutralize or use for attack. So because the reason, the first thing you learn is how do you step right. So in Taiji stepping, you watch the Taiji stepping, it's not just like this only. See, if you go like this, That's not good because the toes, he had to walk like this. It's very stable, this very stable, this very stable. So that means when you push hand, actually it's this way instead of the moving push hand. If moving push hand like that, that means you can easily be tripped, then you get trouble. So remember, there's only 2 key points. One key, you have to stay low, have a good flexibility of your leg. The second one, when you touch the ground, don't get here like that, like a regular walking. It's very gently, you touch it, and once you touch it like a glue, you stick together, like a glue, you stick together. Okay, now you can see how they practice for this one. This is a solo practice by yourself. A lot of time in China, you practice this one around the trees. So that's why I keep circle around. In Baguazhang, it's one of the crucial training, but it's not only in Baguazhang. It's every style they need to train that for the routine training. So they circle around until the leg is so powerful, until the leg is so stable. After that, they start practicing on the brick. They have to step on the brick. It's a right stepping. It's only the bricks that go this way and brick go this way. So you can find the center. It's not easy as the people think. Today, most of martial arts ignore all this basic training now. Thank you. So when you watch a jab doing the stepping, there's a couple of things has to be improved. For example, the leg, his toe going up. This kind going up, this kind of a walking, there's no routine. So you got to watch out that part. And the one time he start turning, supposed to be turned this way, it's so simple and so root. One time he turn this way. This kind of turning also not good. This is called big circle. When you go to big circle, you can easy falling. Not only that, when you go backwards, the backwards go like that. The body still in front. That's not good. You should be the body heel first. Heel, then the leg follow. The leg follow this one. So when you practice, it's very important. Keep your bodies high, the same height. Don't get up and down. At the same time, you watch this part. The movement is so simple. And so the same thing, you're going forward. The same thing, this part. So you should be able to move anytime you want, step in anytime you want, and with the right motions. Always move the center first. When I go forward, I move center first, the leg follow. Instead of a leg move, then center follow. Because remember, this is considered the center. The center has to be protected all the time. All right, Brian just did it. It's not bad. They're not bad. The only thing is the first one, the body should be a little bit lower, okay? Because the body is still too high. And not only that, when every time he steps, you can see his body up and down slightly. So that part, if it's only corrected, and put the mind. The beginning, you have to put the mind in the walking. Only until you regulate without regulate. Doesn't mean you have to practice until it become a habit. Because now, beginning you had to put the mind there. So it look like now he's walking on the water. But he doesn't have what? Doesn't have a feeling of a stick together to the ground. Because now the whole mind is I want to touch it lightly, but at the same time, once I touch it like a glue, I want to glue together. That part is missing. That gluing is missing. Okay. Otherwise, it walks nicely. But he's like a walk on the waters. Okay, thank you.
拒赶
The next steps, after you learn how to step right with a good route, next step actually the sense of distance with your opponent. Too far is not good, and too close is not good. Remember Taiji Classic, what they said. They say it cannot lose contact, but it cannot resist against each other. So because the reason is so important, if you resist against each other, it's called double weighting. But you lose contact, that means it's not good. That means you lose the listening and the sticking on the connections. So because the reason the training is actually only very simple by this. So when I move forward, I cannot just move forward, not move yet. I cannot just move forward without the good distance of a Peng Jing. So that means it's not good. So that means he can strike me. So when you practice this kind of sensing, where you sense, of course, you always watch it, pay attention to the body distance, but at the same time, actually, the hint is come from these hands. Because when I move, he feel it. That's why you know how he come in. So like he move forward, he can feel, I can feel this pressure. If he stop, I stop with him. Remember, Tai Chi say, listen and follow. It's not only hand, listen and follow. Most important is the entire body, you listen and follow. So through the walking and through the moving push hand. So because reason is either side can walk forward, either side can go backwards. The worst situation is to go this way. That's why I step forward, he step forward. Remember, defense is always more important than offense. So because the reason when you practice, when I move, he can feel it. Yeah, when I stop, he feel it. But when you move, and I can feel it, then that's all this kind of feeling of sensing. So this one you need practice and practice until you become so good for this sense of distance. The good distance is the distance I want to strike him, but at the same time, he cannot strike me. But the most important is the angling for the third step. This is the final stage, but we are not talking about that now. It will be next. So remember that. Thank you. So earlier you can see the first try, but you can see the timing-wise is not exactly right yet because they take time to practice. It's not only that, you can see the sense, the body movements become stiff. There's no body movements too much because they come from practice more and more. But for this kind of sense of distance training, it's not only by these hands because the Tai Chi push hand, this one situation, another situation is actually both hands, this kind of situation, right leg forward, yeah, this kind of situation. Again, I can seal him and he have to follow me. The same thing, he can bounce back, I have to follow him. See, all these movements is all the sense by feeling. Okay, so now you're gonna try both and stick together and see. Right hand on top. So in this kind of sense of distance, actually you try to force the opponent until you find out you have a chance to attack. So a lot of time you realize when I push forward, the leg become this way instead of really parallel with each other. Whenever the leg go this way, let me give you a chance to attack. For example, this one, my right leg is able to kick. It's not only that, but this leg is able to trip him easily. So usually in this kind of situation, once you realize the leg in this way, usually the attack come in very quickly because this leg is easy for me to trip him and to kick him. Not only that, it's easy for me to pull on this side. So when you practice, be aware of the leg. Of course, this one, you balance each other. When this one, whoever have the sense of the opportunity, he always can attack first. So it's fine when you practice, but be aware of that when you practice. So when you practice sense of distance, the beginning like that, you see the body is very stiff because your mind is all in the sense of distance. So that means there's no body movements yet. So slowly you have to pay attention in the future, keep practicing. The body has to be relaxed and still very stiff. Now as you can see, upper body like a robot, the lower leg keep moving. Eventually it has to be soft. The hands has to be soft. We learn to use the chest to ear. Use the chest moving. So all these things, for example, when they change your hand, support her body movements, the body movements is missing. It's only hands. So those things, of course, take time and practice. All right. So now, next time we're going to go to angling, even harder. Okay, thank you.
角度感。
Next step is called angling. Angling, you try to angle and to open the opponent's empty door. So when we talk about empty door, if your opponent right leg forward, this side called empty door because this side is exposed to you. And this side is called empty door because this side he loses balance easily. Okay, so usually in Chinese martial arts, this is called empty door, empty door. Between me and him, the center called central door. In the pushing, it's very important you have to occupy central door whenever you can. When you occupy central door, you put your opponent in the urgent positions, okay? But not only that, you try to occupy the empty door that become called angling. So if somebody's hands here, that means he protect himself. But if his hands up, that means called ground window exposed. When going down, that means sky window exposed. Because the reason whenever I'm pushing my hand down, I open the sky window for my attack. When I step into this angle, that's when I step into the empty door to attack. Okay, so from here you can see more become alive, more like a resemble of the sparring situation now. So again, when you do this kind of angling, they have a situation like this and they have a situation like this. But this one is still angling. For example, I can move this angle and I can push him out balance. Okay, I can push this angle and then push him out balance. So because the reason he had the angle with me, because the angling is very important and it become very difficult. Okay, so if you watch the situation like that, then I can angle this way, then I can move this way. Then he can angle with me, he get out already. So again, I can angle this way and he can move with me. So this angle so far, we are not talking about moving, pushing the hands yet. We just talk about angling. So this angling, I can step forward, he can step to keep distance. I can angle, you have to step the angle with me. See, this will keep a good angle with me. So remember, this one is important. Then also he should practice this way too. So whenever I angle, he angle with me. Now I lose my chance. So again, when I go here, now he move again. Now angling, he set up again. Okay, so remember this one, whenever you create this kind of situation, then that means this leg I can kick, that leg he can kick. So whoever on the top, you get advantage because the one on the top will control and immobilize your opponent's kicking opportunities. Okay, now next one we'll try to see angling. Yeah, from above demonstration, you can see it starts from the basic training and everybody treat each other so gentle to each other and try to get a sense of training and a sense of resistance and angering. But now you can see the end almost try to give each other trouble because there's a final goal of a practice for angering. You try to channel each other, give each other trouble and see how we get out. So they become like a real. But remember, inside we try to limit the technique of a pushing hand in the angling. So in this case, you can pay attention to the angling instead of pay attention to the technique itself. Because technique later, we can mix a lot of technique into this angling training that become moving, pushing hands. So remember, so far, don't pay too much attention to the technique of the hands. Most important is how you trap, how do you seal, how you control and control your enemy to the angle, to the corner. Okay, so this is an important part, especially those people interested in the moving, pushing hands. This sense of distance, angling is always one of the most important factors in the exercise. Thank you.
动步单推手，基本阴阳化自我练习。
After 41 years of Taiji Jin practice, then I always think of what's the best way to train the students so they can catch the essence of the art. So that's why slowly, last couple of years, I start created next one called yin-yang neutralization training, because it's actually for coiling training, because it's very difficult for a lot of people. Because so far I've seen a lot of people practice pushing hand. Most of the time they're doing the yang side. Remember, when you go to clockwise, this kind of circle is considered yang side. But when we go to counterclockwise, that's the inside. So because reasons you can see most of the time people practice pushing hands is always yang side. They miss the other side is the inside. Actually, yang side, inside is equal important, because in the fight you can change from yang to yin into yang. Your enemy never know what is substantial, insubstantial. That's why you win. So because reason this one you have to practice a lot whenever you can. You need the body movements, you need all the movement initiated from the leg, directed by the waist and manifest in the hands. Remember that when you do this training, the elbow is a key. In Chinese martial art, they always compare with the shoulder as your leg, your feet, and the elbow is your waist, and the finger is the wrist area is where you manifest is your arms. So it's the same thing. So the elbow is like a waist. You control the movements of the wrist. So because this reason, the beginning you train, don't turn your body yet, always go this way. See my chest in, the body arc in. So this is a pong. So from here you can see this yang side. So this yang side, see my elbow. If from my elbow, you move, you coil like a snake. You coil around the trees. But when the snake coil around the tree doesn't move because the snake it moves instead of push it away. So it's very important for this kind. This is a yang side of training. After yang side of training for a while, you can see yang side is aggressive. You use for offense. Because the reason you start going this way. See, that's why I seal. Again, this one, and then I seal. This one, I seal. This one, and I seal. Remember, when I neutralize from here, and I seal to the center. You go here and seal to the center. So this is sealing. Okay, do not grab, it's a sealing. Actually, eventually you practice, when you touch your opponent, immediately seal his arm so he cannot move easily against you. That's called sealing. At the same time, this is called an. This is called an. So you also coil and an. This is the yang side. So this is yang side, there's another inside. Later you're going to see, for example, inside. Inside, actually, you can see the way we do is counterclockwise. The same concept, the elbow move, and this one. From the outside, you focus. So this, again, you need the chest movements. The chest and you seal. The chest, you seal. The chest, you seal. So after you practice a while, then you become the turning the body, and turning the body, and turning the body. So you can see this is an elbow move, and you turn the body. Eventually, the final goal of practice, because when you practice with your opponents or you fight with your opponent, you are not standing horse stance. Actually, you're standing bow and arrow stance, or sometimes they call mountain climbing stance. So eventually it's this way. So you should be able to do this yang side, and this yang side, this yang side, and this yang side. Again, this inside, and this inside, and this inside, and this inside. You should be able to coil with your leg, all these three sections with body movement, and so smoothly. Yeah, so all these things become the habit. The more you practice, the more in pushing hand, you can take advantage much easier because you can put your hands all the time on your top of your opponent. Once your hands on the top of your opponent, you put your opponent in the urgent position and put him into the defensive situations. Okay, so next one you're going to see Rami and Jeff and Brian, they're going to do this one, and I want to see how they do it right or not. They're going to start with a stationary for the basic. After that, they're going to turn the body. After that, they're going to put the leg forward and try to see if they make any mistakes. Watch your body don't get up and down. Okay, all right, so you look at Jeb, how he did it. Okay, the one thing is the body try don't get up and down. You can get down, but don't get up. Okay, this hand, of course, this is a good seal, but same time, this hand, sometimes you can use all the fingers to lock it. But one problem Jeb has, he needs to be improved more, is his quad. For example, when you turn the hand this way, this quad doesn't turn. Actually, the best, you see the body turn all the way to this direction. That's the best way, turn to all the these directions, because the quad had to turn. The same thing, this hand no problem, but when you go to these hands, the body quad has to turn more. Like this is not good, that's you twist yourself. Once you turn, everything becomes soft. So the quad remain the important keys for the whole exercise. Okay, now it's pretty good. The upper body is very nice. Okay, the same thing, what means the body is very nice, the root is nice. Your body is slightly up and down, but that's not a big problem because the root is still there. What's missing? The same as usual, the sense of enemy. His mind is all in the forms. Yeah, so he needs a sense of enemy. So if you don't put it down here, actually the mind is think about there. That's always the enemy. That's the part here to watch it. Okay, but you have to understand this one. What he did is do a lot of Jing. Because this is Jing, eventually for striking is good. Sometimes you push fast, it's nice. But a lot of time, for this kind of sitting, this kind of training, is called growing Jing. The growing Jing in China, in Chinese martial art, is important for every style, especially against someone. It's good to neutralize your hands. For example, once my hand on the top, I push him, he can neutralize me, then I can follow him. So as long as I keep following toward the center, I don't care how, which hand. So even I push him, he neutralizes. See, my direct, my power continue toward the center. So that's why I keep like a trees, a root of tree. They keep grow. Even you neutralize, keep grow, but still continue towards your center. This is called growing Jing in the Taijiquan. So it's important for you. So for this kind of sitting, it's not necessary you have to do the Jing right away. But growing Jing, you don't have to be fast. It can be so slow, but you have to have this feeling, the body structure, all right? But you have to learn all these things you have to coordinate with breathing. This inhale, this exhale. And always use reverse abdominal breathing because this Taijiquan is a martial arts. Okay, you want to understand more about the internal side of Taijiquan, please refer my book, The Taijiquan Theory of Dr. Jwing Ming, and the many other books. We all talk about the breathing. It's very important for you to understand that. Without that, without the breathing, you cannot get the internal size of a Taijiquan. When you see the Brian doing that, there's a couple spots, Brian actually have to correct himself. Okay, the first one is the elbow. He tried to neutralize with this one. You can see the elbow a little bit stiffer. If you go back to watch again, is the elbow not too much. Elbow actually is the key of coiling. He tried to coil with the hands. That is a part. He have to watch that part. Okay. Not only that, and then when you turn around, the same thing for this elbow. The same thing. This is chest. Again, this part still not quite smooth yet. So this one take time. And again, you can see all three people that perform, the performers, three of them, they have a good part, they have a part that had to be improved. So from there you can see, that's the reason we show three different persons. In this case, you can see what's the difference of them. So in this case, you know how to improve yourself as well.
音画定步单推手。
All right, next one you're gonna see is a inside. The inside lets me counterclockwise. So again, this one is go sideways. Don't grab it. It's just a gently pluck. Tai Chi doesn't grab, it's a pluck. So again, this one, the elbow is important, and the body qua is important, the chest is important, and this is important. And the body don't go up and down. Yeah, you can go here and this down, it's comfortable. Okay, so same thing for this side. So we're going to practice this one too. Remember, elbow and chest, everything, all those things. And final point, coordinate with your breathing, coordinate with your abdomen, coordinate with your perineum. Okay, that's the keys. Okay, so what do you think Jeff did pretty good, okay? The only thing is this one when you move can be forward, but remember, more important, you need backwards too. So this one, don't get all the time forwards, So sometimes you practice forward because you need to pull somebody down, but sometimes you have to yield to get it back. So instead of just going forward all the time, and when you watch the hand, don't be stiff. Yeah, soft, very soft. The body is soft, and calling with breathing. Yeah, again, a lot of time you don't necessarily you have to do the Jing to pull, but it's good to train, but it's not necessary because a lot of time you just continue, plug, continue. Because growing Jing can be forward, can be backwards. When I try to grow someone, if you try to follow me, I continue lead it like tree, continue lead and grow all the way until you fall down. So again, there's a growing Jing. Growing Jing can be in many aspects instead of only one. Remember, when we talk about Jing, it's alive. Jing is not dead. Jing can be many different kinds of manifestations of the same Jing, classified the same Jing. Yeah, when you see Rami perform this inside, they can see there are two things he has to be improved. The first one, again, when you neutralize one, the body, he didn't sit back. He need this momentum. So this momentum, you need to sit back because he's still going to body twisting only. That's one. The second thing, when you start turning this way, his body doesn't turn all the way. So that's a very important part for this quad. So a lot of time you can practice by yourself. Just put your hand beside your waist area. So every time you turn, you can see. As long as it's perpendicular to your both feet line up, then that's fine. Then that's fine. So that means this one has to be on this side instead of go here. That means all exposed. Because this one gives you the quad, the routine. But if you don't do that, it's going to be stiff on the waist area. That means your enemy can get you out easily. For this one, Brian, there are many things you have to correct it. The first one, shoulder is tense. The second one, up is up and down. Okay. The third one, his elbow start get better now. Okay. But one thing when neutralize, he go forward. No, this neutralize is actually backwards. He go forward this way. So now should be backwards because this is sitting. Sitting is okay, you can attack, but neutralize, the body have to turn and eating back. Okay, so there's a part, a few area here to watch it. Okay, so for you, try to take a look again and compare three of them and see if you can see anything wrong. For example, the blind, this one doesn't turn far enough yet. Say the same as others. So from there you can tell the difference and slowly can improve yourself as well. Thank you. For the single pushing hand before in the tape 1, we explained all this pushing hand is a yang side. You can see everything when you neutralize is this yang side. So again, this is yang side, and this is yang side. Everything is yang side. But eventually, there's an inside of a single pushing hands. So the inside, actually, in the Taiji symbol sticking hand training for the inside, you see how you stick with it. Eventually, when someone pushes you, you don't neutralize from this side, you neutralize this side. So this one you have to practice. But when you practice yang side first, until yang side becomes so good, then you start at the inside. Okay, but inside for this basic training is only for you to basic drill. After you train for a while, you can mix with yang side together already. But inside training, again, you can be right hand against right hand and can right hand against left hands. So right hand against right hand, when you push it, the same time, you can see that by body, you cannot turn this way. You turn this way, this hand can reach you. It's not good already. You see, everything is body. When I go here, the hand is out. It's by body turning. When I'm here, you can see my hand on the top already. So watch the body movement. So this body is important. See, when I face a camera, you can see, if you go here, it's like exposed. When I turn, now I'm not exposed because I go to the sideway. So it's important for this one. You take a look, you can see this, the body is out. This, the body exposed. So because the reason you have to get used to this one, and watch the elbow always down. Don't push your elbow up. When you push your elbow up, this is tense, elbow always down. Okay, so watch that pause. So when you push it, first one you yield. So he push it, I yield. When I yield at the same time, you can see my body rotate already. So the beginning of a training is still the same as the first tape. We talk about the body movement. So put your hands here to have a good feeling. Only until you have a good feeling and you know how to use your body, use your spine, then the hands start balance it. Because this hand help you to balance it, the right hand and movements. So in this case, put the hands here first. So you push it, you can see the body, I moved. When I move, I neutralize and the hands is circle. And again, you go in there. So let's become this inside training. Okay, the inside training can be the same side as well, but same side is become harder. So again, when you push it, you cannot turn this way because it's all open to you. Okay, so that's the reason you have to turn first. But again, this one is not easy. You stuck yourself here. But remember, this is only basic drill. Because when later we try to demonstrate the moving, eventually when I get the same side, my body moved to this side already, so there's no problem for the hands. Otherwise, if I move this way, the hand exposed, it's easy for him to strike you. So at the beginning, but you have to get habit for the body turn first. When the body turn first, then the hand, you can stick on it. So watch the transition period. When I turn here, yes, I protect myself. When I go here, now I expose in order to get my hands climb on the top. Remember, this is the one we just trained. Okay, but again, I said this one here, so you have to step because this hand come in. That's why later when you go to step in, you have to, when you go here, see my body step, so keep away from their hands. So again, this is a basic drill for stationary. It's set up for the moving because in the real situation, you are not really stand there still. So when you go to the opposite, the same side, remember the leg movements, coordination of the leg movement is very, very important. Right, put your left hand on the abdomen area, so feel the body movements. Watch the shoulder. Yeah. Actually, what they are doing is very nice. They are, watch the elbow is important. Without elbow, you use hand, it's not going to happen. Elbow move, everything follow. They did it very nice for this one. So actually, there's not too much comment. The only thing is they try to be more natural instead of mind still in the forms. But beginning, yes, mind in the forms. But until it becomes so natural, then you have a sense of enemy. When you have a sense of enemy, it will be much, much better than this one because now you feel a little bit stiff. Yeah, it's not as soft, but they did a very good job. Okay, now you can see, you can probably put the feeling there. You see these hands, the same side is much harder. The reason because the hand you can stuck together. One thing that had to be improved more, when they climb over, they just touch it. They see the hands like a snake, it climb over. So that means when I move here, you can see my hands is how I climb over. This instead of only this way. So in this case, you can see the hands like a snake climb over. This one, if they can improve, it will make much better. They call stick. Instead of just go turn this way, it's this way. Yeah. Good. Put your left hands on the tummy. Okay, so basically it's not bad. The only couple of things, the blind right shoulder, a few times going up, so this shoulder has to be down. That's one thing. It's not only that, one can see when you go here, this one is climb over. He climb halfway, he already moved. So it's climb over all the way. Remember, this instead of go halfway. So this is all the way. So that part has to watch it. Otherwise, a lot of angling is not bad, everything's good. One thing, this part not enough. So that means when you practice home, practice this way. Because this one, remember, there are two. The one of it is this movement. The other one is this movement. These two has to be there. Only this movement, Brian did very good. But this part, sometimes he showed, sometimes, most of the time he didn't show it. So this pong, right away. Remember, this pong give you this one. So I want to see this part in. Get this part in, and just give you the hand so easy for this part. Instead of just go this way. This part, it doesn't move, not good. So you see, watch the body. You push it, the body's this way. So a lot of time you practice, you can touch your hands here. You get this feeling, then you can get it. Okay, when I say stop, please say stop. Okay, continue. I stop there. Okay. Watch this part. This part quad have to turn. When they push it, this is not good. This is good. This is not good. This is good. This have good root. This not. This is not good root because it get bounced back. So this part quad have to turn. Okay, continue. When I say stop, you stop. There. Okay. So if you can focus more, for example, here, you can see all the way. Once you reach this side, then you still go halfway because it's empty. Here he still can alive, still can attack you. So right away you can see the hands all the way here, then I seal down. Okay. Then only those two spots. Other than that, it's not bad. Watch the shoulders slightly up sometimes. Okay. Okay, stop there. See, yeah. This one again should be the hands on this side first and move back instead of on the top, because on the top this hands get out easily. When I here, I want to trap him. So once you control, you can see the thumb on this side, this on this side. That's how I immobilize him. The only way he can get out, either pull back, but I pluck him, or get out. When he get down, that's why it allowed me to strike. Okay, so this one, you try to coil all the way instead of halfway. This is called halfway. This is called whole way, okay? All right, now the same side. Good, that's much better now. See, now he start improve all those things now. The shoulder is down, now chest move, this one move. Nice, did good.
动部阴阳单推手。
In the first step, you learn single push hand. In the single push hand, there's a moving, yang side. But now what we're going to do, we add the inside into the yang side. So in this case, the moving push hand is very important. Single push hand, but you have a yang side, have an inside. You have a cross hand, you have the same size. So everything become alive. So for example, when I move, I can go this way, and I can go this way. When I go this way, again, I seal this side. So again, you can see I change the angle, or I can seal this side, I change the angle. That means earlier we talked about angling. That means your opponent have to change the angle with you. So in this case, for example, he sealed me. Yeah, right away he come in. I can use this hand to intercept, and then become the same size now. You can see, okay, now this one turn and this turn. So remember, single push hand is still very important for you to practice your angling, your sticking, and the sense of resistance. So once you mix up both of them together, inside and yang side together, and a lot of attack can come out, because you can change from yin to yang, yang to yin. Watch, step in. Step in, yes. Good. Yeah. Did a good job. Actually, they did pretty good, except only when they push it. A lot of times they push this way. Should be this way. The angle and that change, have to watch it. On the beginning, the stepping, they're not really very stable, but later they become more stable. Okay, so all those things, you can see the way they put the angle is very nice, because you don't want the angle this way. I can hit me, he can hit me. This angle is good angle. So when I go here, this is good angle. When I go here, this bad angle, because the hand can strike you. So remember, always beware of the other hand. So this is a good sitting, or even this is a good sitting, but the hand cannot come in easily. So remember. So whenever you come here, if you see the hand come in, it's very easy. You can just change hands and change the angle. Step in, watch your step in. Okay, now this one you can see there's a few things. Again, this one when we push it, sometimes they go this way. The body, to get habit, this is a habit. This one is strong. This one is not good. Okay, get habit. So this is good. Upper body can turn, but core, hip, this hip have to turn. Even upper body is triangle, this one. But you don't go this way, because this way you find out is your position is not strong. This one is not firm. That's one thing. On the second thing for the blind, here's a couple of spots there. Other than that, turning. Okay, this one. Okay, I use a ramen and you see. When you turn the right hand side, you turn too early because this is still against you. Remember, you have to turn this one out. So remember, this is the center. You neutralize, you have to go this way. You cannot neutralize earlier than that. So you go here, that's a seal. Then that's why it's not good. You turn this way, it's become so comfortable. You have to, yang side here, you have to turn slightly a little bit more. That's the only thing. Other than that, the stepping is not bad. Only thing is try to walk more stable and towards the center. That means you need a sense of enemy. Okay, now this one, what they are doing now, you go back to watch what they're doing. You see the sense of distance is not quite adequate because the reason now, you can see when the outside, you push it, and this one actually so close to enter the range because that means when you push it, this side had to yield the same distance, so that hand cannot reach me. If you go to these kind of things, this hand still, that hand can reach it, it's not good. You watch the tape again, you can see the many times they are too close to each other. So that's why they watch it. That means a lot of times they're exposed to each other for attack. Okay, now it's not bad, only a couple of things. Okay, the first one is stepping. The second one, this kind of body movements slowly disappear now. It's more like hands now. They can watch it because it's not that simple to reach all the requirement needed. Okay, but you notice one thing. A lot of time you can see the distance they are close. But remember, you watch again, the angle between the jab and blind is different. Jab and blind, they expose each other like that, so the hand can reach it. But even they are close, you can see the angle, the hand cannot reach it. So you see the difference of angling. This one even range is closer, but because good angling, the other hand cannot really attack you. Okay, so you try to compare. That's the reason we have different people here to demonstrate, because some people make the mistake this way, some people make mistake that way. So in this case, you can compare and see what is better, what is not.
动步双推手。
Remember in the first step, we have a double pushing hands. From what I learned, there's 6 options of a double pushing hands. I try to refresh your memory. So from here you can see, this is called horizontal neutralization. You have two hands. Remember this elbow that have to seal. Okay, so that means this one have to seal, like now Jeff is seal, and he's cover that. Okay, this one is important. That's horizontal. Then this one is called downwards neutralization, and this is called upward neutralization. And the next one is called sideways neutralization. All this sideways neutralization. Not only that, there's 2 more. The one for this neutralization, okay, then you can just change back to the sides, or You can have the other one, the last one. So I push him, he can go to this one, then I stick this one. Okay. Okay, now he can push me back. Now you can see, now you see this side too. Now go this, and then he stick with me. Remember this. So those are 6 options. If you cannot remember, go back to the tape number 1 to see the double pushing hand. But that one was stationary, but this is yang side. There's never be inside. So the moving pushing hands, you have to practice the yang side first until it gets smooth and gets smooth and gets smooth until you feel comfortable. Then slowly you add inside. When you start add inside, everything becomes alive. For example, like this one. Remember this yang side. This one can be inside. See the inside, my hand is inside already. Now this becomes China technique. Everything in the yang start mixing, all the technique come out. So that one has become a big project for you to understand. But today you start learning only inside. I would like you to start to adapt the inside into the double push hand by yourself. And then later we'll see if they can show you some. Okay, so remember this, again, this one, when I seal, I want to change the angle because this angle, that's a double push hands about. So like this one, I want to change the angle. So when I go here, you have to change the angle with me. And again, then go here, I have to change the angle. So now we're going to see the double pushing hand with all 6 options mixed together. Remember, sense of distance, still important. Sense of angling, still important. Okay, thank you. Brian, watch your intercept the elbow. Watch the step in. Stepping very firm. Try to become more aggressive now. Try to give each other trouble. just to make it clear. Okay. The beginning is just only they be polite to each other and they cooperate with each other for basic training. You can see the mistake they had, the leg, they didn't really stay very stable for that part. So a lot of time you can see push it from upper body only. There's no too much of a root for that part. And later when they go to aggressive against each other, you can see the listening Jing is not good. Sense of distance is not good yet, because it takes a while for you to get used to it. So now you can see the way they collide each other, the way the angle didn't get it. But they did one good thing, is very nice, I feel very good about it, is the body they learn how to turn. But you have to turn it the right amount when they become aggressive. The final point is you want to give each other trouble. Okay, that's the final point. But when they give each other trouble, they couldn't get out completely yet, because now remember, it's become aggressive. When they're aggressive, like a competition now. So because the reason, see which one's the listening Jing is faster and more sensitive, and see how you'll be rooted, how you angle each other. All those things become required, because remember, when after moving, pushing hands, next step is actually kicking and punching, take down and chin out already. So become applications of Taiji pushing hands. The application of Taiji pushing hand, we're going to introduce that in the later, in the future. So then in this case, you can see everything has a sense, have a reason for the final goal is a sparring.